enough of us. We have some guests. Who do we got today?
We got the Dolan twins. Really, really famous.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are huge. I couldn't believe 10 million YouTube followers. I don't know, millions of 5 million plus Instagram followers. We, as me specifically, are like, as an older person, I'm fascinated with the youth culture, what's going on. How the fuck are you guys this popular? What's the secret?
I also just want to say D might be like your biggest fan because like about a year or so ago, D decided he was going to become famous.
Yeah.
And so he was vlogging, and I think the pandemic kind of fucked that up. Maybe?
Yeah, it ruined. I had such a cool little,
vlog and podcast and run with D, like really went for it.
Yeah.
But just couldn't quite, get what you guys got. So we're trying to learn.
Working on it.
Yeah, we got a lot to learn.
Tell us more. Tell us the secret. How are you guys this famous?
Damn, I don't know if there really is a secret. And if there is, I haven't figured it out yet. I feel like I'm just like constantly trying to figure out how to maintain and how to take things to the next level every single day. It's like you don't sleep when
But you guys are 20 years old.
Yeah, we've been doing it since we're 14. Yeah.
Wow.
So everything took off in 8th grade. Actually, the summer going into 8th grade.
Summer going to 8th grade? I probably learned how to jerk off. I mean, you're creating a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's Tequila D, man. I like this. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, what were you doing summer into 8th grade? Just being a shithead? Like,
I think I learned that as well that year.
Okay.
Yeah, so, Same
So
thing. We just had the app Vine as well.
Yeah,
and that's how it started.
Vine.
On Vine, yeah. It was like 6-second vignettes. Our sister forced us to download it. And then I started seeing some people become Viners, they were calling them. And I was like, I could do this, I think. Yep. So I spent that whole summer it was out of boredom, but I spent that whole summer just trying to get Vine famous when it wasn't even really a thing yet. And then like literally a week before school started, one of our Vines kind of hit. And when that happened, we had already had, all these it was trial and error. So we had like all these like failed Vines, but like they were kind of entertaining enough for people to begin to follow us. And then from there, it was just like snowball effect and we kept it going.
This is what's crazy too to me about your guys' whole generation of like, to me, there was like a bunch of people that kind of got famous on Vine. I feel like Vine was the beginning of the big transition of like who was going to really make it in this social media YouTube world, right? Like I remember even Logan Paul and David Dobrik and all of them were like Vine, right? But what blows my mind is at that time, nobody really knew what it could become. And now these are like the biggest celebrities ever to kids and printing money. And so at the time, did you guys have any idea? Or were you like, I just want to get a bunch of likes?
I think my intuition told me that like this, like it was going to be sustainable. Like I was going to be able to make a living off this. The main issue was just convincing everybody around us that that's what it would become.
Like, so you guys knew that early on? You knew that in 8th grade that this could potentially be like your future?
I think so. Just because we kept up with like YouTubers and everything since probably like 2007. We were just like fans of YouTube and like the platform and social media itself and people creating their own shows. Cause that's like, we used to do that just kind of on the side, like literally 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, like making our own show and our sister would edit them. Just like private videos that you show your family and Yeah, but we saw like YouTubers doing that and then like living in houses, having production crews. So like we knew that there was kind of a business behind it. But when Vine came out, no one was really making money at first. My first brand deal I did was for $80 and I used it to buy a skateboard.
Wow. Who gave you the $80?
I forget what the fucking company it was. It was like some bullshit app, but
they
ripped me off. I got screwed. You ripped off a fucking 14-year-old.
I've definitely ripped off my share of 14-year-olds in my day. Don't worry.
That's cool. That's very
Where's
nice.
Taylor? I know Taylor has.
I was I got fucked over too. My first brand deal. I remember,
didn't even pay you.
I hopped off the bus. I got off the bus, and it was for a fitness app, and they wanted me to make this like little fitness Vine. It was the bus in 8th grade, and then I was like, yo, to my friend, because he had a bench set in his basement. I was like, yo, I need to use it like as a prop. Can I run over? And he was like, sure. And I lived in the middle of nowhere, New Jersey, so his house like 3 miles away from ours. I sprint over to his.
Couldn't drive yet.
Yeah, couldn't drive yet. Sprint over to his, make this Vine. Then I went to like football practice or wrestling practice, whatever it was. And then the brand hit me up like, hey, we're not paying you. It didn't get enough likes.
Wow.
And I was like, well, that wasn't like in what we'd agreed on. And they're like, yeah, I'm sorry. It was going to be like $300.
And were you guys 14, like negotiating these deals?
Yeah, actually, then I got a little better at negotiation. I think by the time I was 15, we were negotiating with Coca-Cola and stuff like that. And that was like kind of how we made our money. that we moved to LA on.
Yeah.
Like, what are your parents saying when you're like, oh, I'm negotiating with Coke, Mom, I'll be down for dinner?
I don't even know if I told her.
It was like a third party. So I guess Coca-Cola gave them money to.
It was an agency.
Got it.
So they hit us up, and I think they were like,
I remember the numbers.
2 vines each for $8,000 total.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like,
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
we were like in an airport about to get on a flight, and I remember just sitting there negotiating with them the whole time we're waiting to board, and we got up to like $42K.
Yeah,
For
one vine.
One vine?
They were like $8,000 for 2 vines, and I was like, fuck it.
I can't get enough Jolly Ranchers for $8,000.
I was like,
you know how much chicken nuggets are these days?
I was honestly because I negotiated so hard because I need to convince my parents that like
this is real.
I can make money doing
real.
this. Like, let me do it.
And I guess I just went for it, and I think we closed on like $40,000 for one post.
Oh my God.
It was on.
So you guys are geniuses.
What'd your parents say to that?
I think that's when they kind of realized it was real.
Yeah.
You know? They started seeing
It
Like,
became
what
a
would you
business.
do if your 15-year-old was like, oh, Mom, can we run to the
I
bank?
need 40
got this
racks.
40 racks. I got to cash.
I gotta cop that chain
Mom,
from
what-
Jacob the jeweler.
Yeah, what's a checking account?
So, I mean, like, when I think about the youth today, you guys are like, that's the dream. Because, like, did you guys finish high school or what was...
we finished
technically
online.
finished high school. Yeah, we finished online. So we left physical public high school when we were 15 years old. It was like 4 months into freshman year.
Oh, so you never went back to school after your freshman year of high school?
Fuck, no, you kidding? 40 racks coming in the mail. You just learned to
I
jerk
know,
off. You're
but-
like, fuck it.
To be fair, you guys, because, you know, I've been around celebrities and young talent for 20 plus years. You guys are pretty well put together for kids. Most kids who fall into money at a young age are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and you
That's
guys are like,
statistically, I think, true.
really?
Yeah.
Like,
You
I mean,
only know
like,
me for like 8 minutes. I could be a piece of shit.
usually the piece of shit comes out fast.
Yeah. You get a couple, You get some red flags early. We've been around a lot of pieces of shit.
Yeah, don't
how
worry.
to
We know,
spot
like, yo, where's the tequila at? Right when you walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I did
like,
pass up on that
how did you
offers.
guys like? Your maturity level is pretty impressive, given you
Thank you.
guys you're like 20, right?
Yeah,
20.
20. I think it. I don't know.
I think a lot it comes from us staying on each other to be
Yeah.
on top of things.
Yeah.
You know, we've like had dreams since we were younger, and like we kind of push each other to.
You guys are actual twins, just to make sure it's not like 1 year apart.
Yeah,
shit.
Identical
we're
too.
identical to like the decimal in every DNA, whatever the fuck. We got swabbed by 23andMe.
Okay.
Nice.
If his blood is left on the scene, I could serve the
Sentence.
The sentence.
We're not
Okay.
admitting
We're not
it.
criminals.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
Just in
it is
case.
morbid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Menendez
I'm just saying,
brothers
like,
should not be your guys' idols.
And that's where we got the red flag.
No, but I think it is that we're hard on ourselves and each other, and I mean, in a sense, like we kind of are each other. Not, I mean, we definitely are. Our personalities are less similar than some would think, but I mean, when I look at him, I feel like it's a reflection of
Yeah,
me.
like if he
So-
gives like a drug addiction, you're like, come on, bro, like that's part me.
yeah, we kept each other straight with like pretty much everything. We've been sober since we like
Since
forever.
we're born.
Yeah, since we're born.
Yeah.
Well,
So I
it
think.
would be illegal if you had anything. Right?
Well, yeah, definitely, but I mean,
Yeah. I'm
99,
joking.
yeah.
Yeah.
90
As that 4 drinks in. Yes.
I would say that's helped a lot to keep us on this path and stay on track.
Why do you think you guys are so grounded? Because I'm very fascinated by everything here. The first question I have is when I think about like you're 20 years old, you're extremely successful, you're living in LA, you should be wild and out of control. Most of your peers are. Like I was on Twitter today and I saw Hype House, this house. What are they doing? They're out of fucking control. And why did you guys take it so seriously?
But those are like the kids to you guys, right?
I mean, they're new to the space, so it's a lot to take in, especially.
They're new money. You guys are old money.
Yeah,
we
they've been
came
since
up-
14, man. That's they new.
We came up when social media wasn't really even a thing, and so
It
like
was just becoming a business.
so like 30,000 followers is like the new 3 million. You know what I mean? And like these kids are
It's tough.
these kids are jumping in and like they immediately have like this insane amount of fame and
Yeah.
followers and everything like that. And brands are paying real money to social media influencers, which they weren't when we were coming up. I mean, kind of, but if you could figure it out. So I think it's just like so much all at once. And it's kind of like, it definitely.
I mean,
blurs
think
their-
about like last summer, fall, these kids were nobodies. Now they're the biggest celebrities in the world.
You're talking about TikTok.
Yeah.
So
How about Hype House kids?
I was gonna say it's literally Vine times 10, like amplified times 10. Because back when Vine happened, right, like Coke, all those brands were coming in doing these deals. It's literally like that, 10 times as quickly and like 10 times the scale. It's like
for those
crazy.
who are listening, that's Kevin Gold. What would you call your relationship with them?
Yeah, I mean, we're co-founders on a brand together, which we'll probably talk about in a bit. And known these guys a while, and they're they're great guys. So was excited to be in business with them.
Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, like we talk about a lot of what's happening on TikTok right now, and I feel like I don't know. We work with some of them, and we know that ecosystem really well, but like it's unclear to me where it all goes. And I think for young people, you guys just. I mean, I guess you weren't in high school, but like we always have this discussion. If you were in high school today, is it better to be the star quarterback or the kid that has 1 million followers on TikTok?
The kid that has 1 million followers is getting shat on by everyone in the school. And that's a fact. I mean,
he is.
He is.
Yeah, no, it is. High school was awful for us.
Really?
What?
Plot
twist.
I mean, we were
blew
freshmen.
my mind.
We were freshmen. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't, but that's a common theme in the industry. Everyone.
Were you guys like this buff then too?
I feel like there's two of you.
Yeah. You guys should smash your face.
It was a lot of Twitter fingers. There was an app called Yik Yak, which was big, which was even worse and more toxic than Twitter. It was anonymous. So but it was like the town radius was where the feed was coming from, and everything on there was fuck the Dolan twins. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of the Dolan twins for first day of school.
Why?
You already know, like,
don't they want to be you guys?
That's jealousy, right?
I mean, I guess maybe that's why they were saying it. I don't know. I
Yeah, but everyone it's changed. Look now.
You don't think
now like the kid with the poofy hair and the dangly earring dancing, they're like,
those wigglers?
I think maybe it's changed. I haven't really talked to like the young generation. But the people who are like around my age, like at the top now, they came from similar experiences.
Really?
In school,
I really wonder if it's still the same. Because I feel like that's kind of how I grew up skateboarding. And like as the skateboarder in Ohio, it was like you're the outcast, like what the fuck is skateboarding? But now that skateboarding's like cool, now you're cool, right? Like I wonder if you guys just had to pave the way so that all the little Charli D'Amelios could be the star.
I think jealousy will just always be a thing.
But I remember even in high school, like, sure, like there was something about the athlete that was always kind of like they were king. And I'm sure New Jersey is very similar because I have a lot of friends who actually played professional football from New Jersey. And they were treated like kings coming up in high school and college. I just can't believe that you guys weren't idolized in high school.
Not at all.
I mean, we were freshmen. So that has a lot to do
I know,
with
but
it.
like fame is fame.
But famous freshmen, I could see how that would be like a problem. Imagine you're that senior running back. Yeah. You're like, yeah, fucking right. I will beat your ass, twins.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I'll beat your ass like in 6 seconds on behind.
We had earrings and the quarterback, like the senior quarterback on our football team came up to us in the locker rooms. He take those fucking earrings out. I'm like,
yeah.
Did you take them off?
No.
Okay. So you were in the locker room.
No, I mean, I guess, we always kind of were big. We have a wrestling background and so no one ever really fucked with us physically because they kind of knew the outcome.
They tried.
Yeah, you guys look like big kids.
A kid started with Grayson at the water fountain, and then like someone else was there filming it, like trying to start a fight to try to get us like suspended or some shit. But
because of your Vine fame.
Yeah.
I guess that's also a problem. Like if you get on camera beating up the Dolan twins.
That was always in my mind, and I never wanted to do anything that would jeopardize the opportunity that was given. You know what I mean? Like a fight comes out of me, like what are the people that follow me going to think of me? You know?
Yeah, but I mean for them, like they could go viral.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, check out my video. I beat up the Dolan twins at the water fountain.
They weren't going to beat us up.
That's right.
I
like that.
That wasn't gonna be I like that.
I like that. Yeah. I just wonder. I do honestly wonder if it's changed. We've been trying to kind of figure out, like ask our listeners. We got one teacher, I think from San Francisco.
Sacramento,
that said
everyone's
changing.
Trying to wiggle,
Everyone's trying to be a wiggler, and like the sort of skinny like dancer boys are like the cool ones. But I don't know. I mean, that's one test. I don't, and especially Jersey, Ohio, where I'm from, that might be a little different.
Yeah, Jersey's definitely different than
not accepting of like any form of art at all.
Yeah.
It's all just sport.
Pizza.
It's
pizza.
Sports and pizza.
Yeah.
I got a lot of friends in Jersey, so I know.
The one question I just wanted to circle back on, because I feel like you kind of skipped over it, is Are you guys taking part in the secret underground
orgies and
influencer?
parties?
Or are you guys truly?
No.
You really got it together.
We've never partied.
Yeah,
like,
I've
ever
been
in our
out
lives.
I've never even spoken about this publicly, but I've been out to like a club like maybe 4 times in my life, like since I moved here 6 years ago, 5 years ago.
So you're just not into that.
And
world?
it was only for 30 minutes. Yeah, I just like.
Do you see yourself participating? So you're not in. So like when we see on social media these kids, and they're even younger than you guys, partying, drinking, clearly not obeying the social distancing rules. What do you guys think of that? Do you guys respect social distancing and masks? And like, where's your view on that?
I definitely do. I think that it's hard for everybody in the world, and for entertainment. I don't even know how I'm like what the proper way to speak on this is. I mean, we're definitely respecting it.
Yeah,
but we haven't taken part in any parties or large gatherings, and we never.
As far as
never
that
have.
goes, yeah, like we won't go to a party or anything like that. That's just I feel like it's ignorant.
Yeah.
But like.
Damn, you're great parents, man.
Yeah, do you guys have great parents? Is
Yeah.
that the thing?
What's going on
I feel
here?
like that's-
Why are you guys
Yeah,
shitbags?
Yeah, I think I'm also like just really protective over like my vibe and my energy. I know that sounds kind of like yogi, but I really am, and it just like preserving my mental health is something I really need to like focus on in order to maintain and take it to the next level in this space, because there's so many people just saying shit about me that don't even know me.
Yeah.
So like I only like to really be surrounded by people who I know are going to lift me up. So going to a party, I'm probably going to see people that I don't really like, and I don't.
Wow,
I
that's
don't want to
amazing.
like ruin my
Good
day.
for you guys.
I mean, it feels like high school. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows everyone. There's cliques and everything like that. And also another thing is like everyone pretends like they don't know you when they meet you. Like we see everyone's face everywhere. Like I know pretty much everyone on the platform and things like that.
But you guys are the top of the heap. Well, how are they acting like that?
I don't know.
That's
just
insane.
part of the
to me.
game.
You should be like,
That's part
you
of the
know
game.
me, motherfucker.
No, that's like the same thing. I bet when you're at the Grammys, people are like, "Hey, hello." And
Oh,
they're like, Adele.
What's your name? Adele?
Nice to meet you.
You lost a lot of weight,
Yeah.
huh?
I bet you do. That's part of the game.
I think
Steven,
again,
Spielberg.
I think you guys are like 6 years into it. You know, like all these kids coming up are just so new, and they literally moved here, 2 months ago. Then COVID hit,
Yeah.
so they actually haven't experienced. A lot of them haven't even experienced like the true fame that's happened yet because they're isolated
Life
in a
is-
house.
I've
Life
noticed a
is
lot
so
of them
fucking
too,
weird.
like don't even know how to. That's the one thing about you guys I noticed the moment I walked in. Even making eye contact and saying, "Hey, nice to meet you," is like
Oh
a
my
big,
God, that is such a challenge with
Yeah.
celebrities that we'll
and
meet.
especially influencers.
Yes, we've met every big celebrity. They've come into our office right before they became really famous, and so difficult to have a conversation with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Really?
crazy.
I think I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I've always kept to myself, so I guess I feel like just the same person since fucking high school. I don't know. And also like we don't like surround ourselves with like yes men and shit like that. I can tell when someone's just kind of like humoring me and just like telling me like what I want to hear, and I just know that's like it's not getting me anywhere.
Yeah.
That relationship.
That's amazing.
And but it's weird, like with the whole like, isolating thing and all these kids like taking off in their careers. Like sometimes I'll be in New Jersey like for like 3 months and I like won't leave the house. I live in the middle of the woods there, and then like I'll go to a store, go shopping or whatever, and someone will like tap me on the shoulder and ask for a picture, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like it throws me off for a second because I forget that
Yeah.
You're
people-
famous.
No, I mean like people want to take photos with me and stuff. It's just like I don't know. Sometimes
Yeah, I think we just have like a lot of New Jersey in our blood too.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm too real for my own good at times.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Especially in a town like this.
Yeah.
say shit that gets us in trouble because
Yeah.
What's the vision? You guys are clearly making money. I don't understand the business model of YouTube, but outside of YouTube, like how are you making money?
I guess multiple avenues. Merchandise, obviously, that's like the norm at this point.
Podcast, we have our own podcast,
Yep.
which we just started. We're getting into video soon, which we're excited for.
And then we own a company as well called Wakeheart. It's a fragrance company. And yeah, we're doing pretty well there. We're scaling up and it's fun. I have like a really strong passion for business. I feel like I'm like the age that, someone would be in college and like, be a business major or whatever. A lot of my friends are majoring in business. And I feel like I'm kind of doing the same thing, just like not education wise. I'm kind of like doing it.
You're at the age when a young Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard and started Facebook. So it makes sense to start a
He's
business.
doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah.
Now. I heard.
And like, so you guys brought us some candles. So you guys are getting into the candle business. You're already in the fragrance business.
Yeah.
The product smells incredible.
Thank
Like, how do you, like, as two guys get into the fragrance business? Because that's not like natural in terms of like where you guys would go. Like, I would see you guys, you know, you could, if you told me you guys had the biggest jump rope on the internet, I'd be like, fuck, these guys are like billionaire jump rope guys. I would believe it because of your physique and the way you guys look. But like, you're in the fragrance business.
That's a thing that I've always, like, I feel like I don't fit like my persona, like my passions and everything. It just, I've never aligned with like how I look, I guess.
Yeah.
So I kind of also want to like break that
Stigma.
Yeah, totally. Like I remember like part of the reason honestly why I'm sober is just because I kind of look like a fucking party animal. Like my whole life I'd be seeing.
Yeah, I assumed you guys were ready to go.
Yeah, I remember being in health class and the dare officer would just stare at me. And I'm the only motherfucker here that's never taken a shot.
Oh my God, you got fucking what is it called? Not stereotype, but
Profile.
You got fucking
My whole
profile.
life I've been profiled, and then like I was good at football, so people assumed I was a bully. But like all my friends were like the kids that no one else would like hang out with.
It was like the new kids at
Like,
school.
yeah, like
we just got along with those kids better.
Yeah.
And like Grayson and I were like starting running backs on our team, but we weren't friends with the fucking quarterback. Like we didn't even like the kid. Like we would just our lunch table was us and some kid who wanted to be a DJ, and like that was it. And so like our whole lives we just kind of like strayed from what people thought we would do, and I feel like that's like why we got into fragrance and stuff. I've always like really like kept up with my hygiene and stuff. I also look like I'm like a dude who wouldn't like do that, but I that's something that I really value, and I've always made an effort with my whole life. So,
And the name of the brand is Waycart?
Waycart, yeah.
And what's the website?
Waycart.com.
Got it. And like,
the domain.
when I look at that business, like, is that something you guys see doing for the rest of your life? What's your goal with that business? Because that's like, you know, it's not like selling merch where, you know, you may view it differently.
I was gonna say, just to chime in,
Yeah,
like
I
I
was gonna
think
say,
I think when we linked up though, that's what I was, you know, super excited about, because I think there's really only, you know, 50 influencers in the world you can build a real brand with that gets past a couple $1 million in sales, right?
Yeah.
And so when I linked up with these guys, and they one came with like a super clear vision and like a deep understanding of fragrance and where they wanted to go with the brand, and I was super psyched. And I kind of told the guys, I was like, look, this isn't like merch. This isn't like a quick hit where you're gonna make quick cash. You know, I mean, you guys know how brand building is. It takes like a long time. It's a lot of hard work. And they were like from the start, just like super down to build. And I think that's what the thing that stood out the most to me about the guys was.
Yeah. And the product, you brought us some product, I mean, it is incredible. I mean, we get all the Le Labo, we get all the overpriced candles in our house. This for the value is insane. Was this $35 for this?
Yeah,
36%.
And you got a crystal at the end?
Yeah.
What?
So is that the thing? Like you keep it?
Yeah, you can keep
Yeah.
it forever.
Yeah, that's cool.
I keep crystals around, and some people say it's like, you know, for more spiritual reasons, and then others believe it's like placebo. But I say like,
It's
who
good
cares?
energy.
It's good energy.
Yeah,
you know
either
what I
one,
mean?
yeah.
I'm all about it.
Yeah. So I mean, I've spent like dumb money on just learning and getting into crystals. Like I spent stupid money on like just small little things, and
I guess it's not stupid if you
it's
feel
not.
that
Yeah, it's not
value,
stupid,
you
but
know,
like for the size of the crystal you get in there and the value, it makes a lot more sense. It feels like we're doing something fair too. You know?
like
Yeah.
we purchase crystals that size for like a good amount of money.
Yeah.
And
So-
the fact that we're able to, you know,
I'd say it's been fun though. And these guys have done a great job just like building the community. Like if you look at the Instagram and how engaged it is and just like the overall vibe. And so we started with fragrance, and then we got a little delayed with candles with COVID because the manufacturer shut down. And then like the long-term vision is really to sort of like pull together the entire like ecosystem of scent and smell, you know, for everyone like Gen Z and young millennial. And so these are the first two categories. And then we've got like some cool stuff launching later this year.
So this is a business like Cody buys.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now we're not really thinking about buyers, but we're just thinking about how do we continue to like triple down on the community and just like scale out the product selection, because I think the audience is there and they want to see more. And so we're just kind of figuring out like what do they want, and we're going to keep, you know, expanding the categories.
Yeah, because it sounds like you built a pretty sizable business pretty quickly in a category that like is very desired as far as big companies, because like
Totally.
gross margins are healthy. It's profitable.
Yeah, super healthy. And the other thing too is we self-funded the whole business. So it was like,
Wow.
let's not go raise capital. Like same with like the other two brands I have. It was like, get the business up and running and like do it for e-com. Like you shouldn't have to go raise a bunch of capital.
Yeah.
And so we got it up and running, you know, pretty lean, and we have full autonomy to do what we want.
That's really interesting. So like, I mean, if you guys got the big bag in the next 2 years and you're like 22, what are you doing with the rest of your life? Are you gonna have a drink? Would you guys ever drink?
No.
Ever in your life?
Nah.
No cocktail.
You're trying hard here.
No margarita.
I'm sure I have one
A
right
glass
here.
of wine or rosé.
He's that guy.
I just think also we're just
That was a test.
We just have to like we learned that we have to just like only do things that we're passionate about. And we talked about like growing companies, selling a company, and doing it for like monetary purposes, obviously too, because that's what you have to do with the business. But we're
in life, anything in life.
yeah,
you
but
need to make money
we're really
from,
about
but-
spreading a message, and like just like you said before, like the whole like stigma between like I don't look like someone who would care about fragrance.
Yeah.
I want like this company to also like break that stigma. You know what I mean? Because there's a
Yeah.
lot of dudes out there who want to smell good and stuff, and they just don't because they feel like they're gonna get like made fun of because they do, which is like
That's not cool. Yeah.
it's stupid, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like anyone could smell cool and smell good, and it's cool.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I mean,
But,
what you get compliments from girls if you smell good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
smelling
why
bad
not?
is the worst thing in
Yeah,
the world.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
smelling bad is disgusting.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would make a case for smelling like
But
shit.
like, what do you do next? So let's say this business exits in the next couple of years. Do you guys still want to be famous when you're 30 years old, or do you want to just disappear?
I want to have a voice that I could always make a positive change with. Fame is just like a really weird
Concept.
concept.
Yeah.
But you guys are famous.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Oh, definitely.
Sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. I mean, like, I mean, like, I definitely would not trade that for anything.
Yeah.
But especially as of lately, and I don't know if it's just Corona boredom when everyone's trying to cancel everyone. It's just like the pressure is like at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Like I feel like even in my life when my phone's down and I'm not on camera, I'm paranoid as shit about everything, and that could just be right now. But I guess that's kind of like the trade-off for all the perks. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to always have a platform to spread a positive message. I just feel like I get fulfillment out of that. I feel like every day is purposeful if I'm doing that. So,
something I could I see myself like being able to take my time more.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I have a passion for directing. So like maybe like taking time, like a full year to direct a project that's going to change the lives of people that view it, hopefully. For the
You
best.
guys are fucking mature.
Yeah.
20 years old, I was not thinking about helping anybody.
Yeah, I feel like this whole interview we just tried to find like a chink in the armor.
Yeah, it's just like, where you guys are full of shit, aren't you?
I'd say the other crazy thing too with them is like obviously when most influencers build a brand, it's kind of them like slapping their name on the brand, and then obviously there's people behind the scenes doing all the work, and like they're like my active partners every day in this thing.
That's
like
amazing.
super involved in the operations, and I think like just even the business acumen you guys have picked up over the last 2 years, like growing this thing.
Thank you, man. I'm passionate about it. I love learning.
Yeah.
Thank you for teaching me.
I'm glad you say that. Wait, sorry, I don't want to cut you off. I'm just saying, I'm glad you say that because every day I'm like, shit, like I don't want Kevin to think we're slacking. Like, like I want to show you that I'm committed. You know what I mean? And show everyone on the team. We have also an amazing team at Wakehart that we built too, which is
the morale's at an all-time high right now. I fucking love the energy. But yeah, like you were saying, like the first, was it 6 to 8 months? We didn't really even say that we were behind the brand. It was kind of because I was a little bit timid too, to like be owning a brand for the first time. And I wanted to make sure that people thought it was dope before I said, oh yeah, I own this. But
Well, the other thing too was like we wanted the brand to be bigger than them, right?
Yeah.
And that like again, like that's the merch approach. Like you don't if you push merch, it's you, right?
Yeah.
And from the start, we were like, okay, how can we create this thing, this energy, this community that in 2 years' time is going to be bigger than Grayson and Ethan? And they obviously put their stamp on like everything around the business. But to build a real brand, it's got to be bigger than them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, that was my number one thing I fought for with Young and Reckless, and we just celebrated our 11-year anniversary. You know,
Congrats.
and I think that in that meantime, we've seen so many people that were way too merchy. Like usually with the merch, like my name is all over it. You get kind of that quick hit, and you're like, oh, this is gonna last forever. This is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then sure enough, it wears out, or you have to you feel like you have to like keep every day. You have to be in front of people's faces, or else you're not going to be able to sell a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's definitely the right approach. Obviously something we're big fans of over here.
Yeah, oh, that's great. I mean,
Can I just ask you one sort of, at least my final question? What do your parents think now?
So my dad passed away, but he was always like a really big supporter of everything, and my parents have always been on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is she's of course very supportive, but there's some things that she just doesn't really understand. She owns a business herself. She owns a salon, so she just like is. I kind of get a little bit of like the boss mentality from her.
Yeah.
And she's always inspiring me with, she has like a lot of employees and she's been running this for like 20 plus years.
Wow.
So I think that's rubbed off on me. My dad was a principal and then superintendent of schools when he retired. And I think, him being at the top of like education is like kind of just like motivated me to try to get to the top of what I'm doing. So I think we're all kind of like, we're on the same page, really. Like they still
like,
see us just as their
they
kid,
understand, like your mom understands what's happening.
Yeah.
Although sometimes I find myself like talking to her about things that I probably don't even need to. Like I was talking to Kevin about like ad spend and how we're scaling, and she's I don't know anything about what you're saying right now. So I was like, you're right. I'm just gonna have a normal like.
As of lately, I've been trying to just keep the conversations like mother and son, because I feel like that's just like healthiest.
I mean, it's amazing because like just being transparent, we talk a lot of shit about your age group.
No, I mean,
and we have no hope for the next generation because like I'll go on, he loves TikTok. I go on it maybe once a month and I'm like, oh my God, these people are almost gonna vote for our next president. Fuck, I'm so nervous. And then it's really refreshing to meet. I mean, you guys are, left school at a very young age and are extremely mature, are very well put together. Like, it's very impressive. So it's,
thanks for giving us hope.
Yeah, you gave me a lot of hope. Like, I'm just even for being a dad, like, maybe my kid won't just be dancing away on TikTok all day.
No wiggling?
Yeah, no wiggling.
Yeah, no
Little bit of wiggling.
Yeah, he's a wiggler already. He just
he already has the dances. Yeah. He could be on TikTok.
I have a lot of hope for my generation. Yeah. I feel like as of late.
What gives you that confidence? Because I don't have.
Please tell us.
I think just the open minds. Like a lot of people I notice like that are around my age have just like such an open mind about like new things and are really open to education and like doing what's right and setting their ego aside. So
like for example, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
What does that mean to your cohorts of friends? Like, do they understand the severity of that problem?
Definitely. I think going into conversation about that with friends around my age, like it was like we were all kind of on the same page about it, and we all knew what needed to happen and changes that needed to make in order for the world to continue in a positive direction. But it took convincing to the generations above us, the people we were raised by, to be like, like this is what's going on.
Yeah, there was a common theme with all the conversation that we were having with our friends about the topic, and it was that like we felt like we were taking action a little bit too late and kind of putting blame on ourselves, but it was kind of like our parents' generation failing us a little bit. Not that my parents failed me, not that my parents were ever racist in any way at all. I just feel like we weren't raised anti-racist enough.
You're taught like, hey, if someone takes his kid's lunch money, set him straight and tell him no, it's wrong. But if someone is poking fun at this kid's hair for being curly, you're not taught that, what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think like our generation is really, me and my friends were all like gonna make it like a point to teach our kids that.
Well, I think you guys were like the first ones too, when everything happened, to come out and say, look, as a brand, Waycart needs to like really use this platform to educate the audience and get in front of it. And
I just wanted to use every platform that we had to educate our audience.
Because the reality is like, you guys have way more influence over young people and the way they think than like you guys probably even realize, right? Like, because when, us dealing with it as a society is just so, it's disheartening because you're like, how did this problem ever get fixed, right? Because a lot of very influential adults don't use their platform to actually fix the problem. So when people like yourself actually understand the problem, forget just saying it, because a lot of people just say it, but they don't understand it. Yeah. Like when you see it live, like, we have seen it our whole life, you start thinking like, man, if people with influence actually spoke out against it, you'll see progress. Because like you're going to influence a young person today that goes into the workforce, and they're going to handle the situation differently than their predecessor. So I think it's important that like it's admiring that you guys are taking that seriously. And it does give hope for that next generation, because that's like a big concern of like, we think a lot of the younger folks feel distracted by social media and what, like you guys took a platform and realized that like, oh my God, this is the future. But now everyone would trade places with you guys. Every 12 to 30-year-old would love to be you guys. That wasn't the case 5 years ago, so you were ahead of the curve. But like today, everyone wants to be you guys, but they don't realize what comes with that, like the responsibility that comes with that.
Yeah. We always say, and I made the analogy yesterday that like Ethan and I have been on this hike, and like I was comparing it to like Mount Everest. Like we got prepared with everything that we needed to get to the top. You know, we made the mistakes early on so that we wouldn't make the mistakes where it counted. And like that's like kind of like when people are thrown in like these TikTokers and stuff like that, like they're just like, I see them like midway up Mount Everest in swimsuits. Like they're just like, we're just like put there, you know what I mean?
And it's cold up there midway up.
It is cold.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a shitty analogy, but it's like kind of like.
I get it.
No, yeah,
It's a good one. It's a good one.
The hype house is just all in bikinis.
I think there
halfway
are
up.
some people who are pretty smart that have been thrown into it and have impressed me. I've had conversations with some people, and
Can you name a
they're
name?
thinking, we had a conversation with Thomas Petrov, and he was just
He kind of runs Hype House. He's like the Hype House manager.
yeah.
Okay.
And it was like honestly like a pleasant surprise, like of a conversation. I mean, I haven't really had a conversation with anybody in a really long time, but he was just saying that like, look, I'm trying to like tell everybody that this isn't forever. You know what I mean? Like these dances and all this stuff is only gonna last so long, and you need to get your foot.
Well, tell him to shut the fucking parties down.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, Thomas.
That's something that I honestly don't even know.
I'm kidding.
I've just seen that on like Twitter headlines, but then I kind of been off Twitter for
Yeah, I haven't been on
a while.
Twitter
So
in a long time.
I don't.
Yeah.
I
That's also why
I didn't
to
get
their,
invited to any of these parties. So
to their point, I feel like that is part of why, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like part of why the crowds at all those marches were so big and so diverse is because I feel like their generation just intuitively is less racist or isn't racist. Like I feel like they saw all this happening and they're like, what the fuck?
I don't think their generation is racist at all. I don't think they realized that there's a whole generation of people that actually make decisions based on color.
Yeah.
And that probably woke them up.
But that's why I feel like if you think about it, there was something that happened that's more than just the video of George Floyd that caused, I mean, almost every city in the world.
Yeah.
And it was so diverse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, all I took from that was that to so many people, it was like, oh my God, this is really of course we'll go out and march. Of course this doesn't work. Of course this is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting. So that is, I mean, I think what I really gained from this interview is a lot of hope for the young generation.
I do have a lot of hope.
Yeah. Thank you guys. For
Yeah.
that.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having
So
us.
if our listeners want to buy the new candles or any of the fragrances, do we have like a code? We like codes.
do we have
We got a code. It's group chat.
Okay.
15% off. It's
Nice.
it's wakehard.com. It's wakehard on Instagram.
Great.
I don't know if our
So-
traffic is the same as what you're used to, but
Our listeners have money though. That's the one thing.
yeah. And they like candles.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's amazing.
We'll hope you like the candles if you get them.
Yes.
And the crystals also that you can keep forever once you burn through.
It's good energy.
And something neat about them, the essential oil that's infused in each candle withholds like the same healing properties that each crystal does too. So it's kind of like you get the support while you're burning it and then also forever through the crystals. So.
Great.
Maybe
Well,
that's
we're
why
about
they're
to have
so
a
damn
baby.
grounded.
We're about to be in labor.
Crystals.
Yeah, they're just fucking surrounded by candles and essential
Fucking good
oil.
energy.
Yeah.
Too much energy.
Healthy. Fucking,
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
yeah,
I
you
mean,
end up healthy
for-
and positive and humble.
When having a baby, like, you gotta have good energy.
It's true. Give that baby a little bit of what they got early.
Yeah, I know.
You what I mean?
Seriously, I need you to like touch my kids. Like bless them.
I need
just
you to
make
touch
sure.
my kids.
You can bring the candles home. We got your collection.
Okay, great place to end.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. That was great.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you.